Not all who depart from your heart remain, and not all who remain belong to your heart. Yet when two lives cross paths and decide to unite in marriage, it is never an accident. In the dark realm of karma, choices are not always made by the conscious mind. Some are formed by seeds planted long before the present breath was taken away. As the Buddha taught, everything that has a beginning has a cause, and everything that occurs dependent on something else. This truth, known as Paticca Samuppada, or dependent origination, also governs the mystery of why two souls unite in marriage. Love is not always the root of union. Sometimes it is God. Sometimes it is a lesson. Sometimes it is a mirror showing all that one refuses to see. And only sometimes is it the path to liberation. Let us now walk through a story that reveals these truths, hidden behind the window of what appears to be romance, fate, and coincidence. In each chapter, the philosophy behind marriage and karma will be revealed, not as a concept, but as a living, breathing force in human life. The first meeting is not the beginning. A monk sat silently as a couple passed by, chatting about something trivial, perhaps a forgotten promise or an overdue delay. They seemed incompatible, but were so bound by vows neither fully understood. An observer might wonder, why these two? Why not someone else? But what appears to be incompatible may be karmically accurate. A man entered the monk's room. His face bore the lines not only of age, but of silent suffering. He kissed and said, "I married a woman I thought I loved. Now I feel like a prisoner. Why would karma bind me to her?" The monk replied, "Because karma does not bind you to comfort, it binds you to clarity. Marriage is not about finding someone who completes you. It is about finding the soul that gets in the way of your incomplete work." The man paused, shocked. No spiritual teacher ever said that marriage is not about love. But the monk continued, "In this life or another, a seed was sown. That seed grew into a master. That master needed a mirror. That mirror appeared as his wife." In Buddhist philosophy, karma is not only action, but also the result of action. The experiences we go through are often the fruit of previous intentions. The person you marry carries with them your unresolved karma, not to punish, but to teach. The stronger the marriage, the stronger the lesson. You didn't just marry a person, you married your past to them. The attraction of unfinished lessons. Long before the vows intersect, the heart feels drawn, sometimes irrationally, sometimes unaided, to another. Many believe this is love, but often it is a resonance not of the present, but of echoes that arose long ago. In one city, a silent woman found herself inexplicably drawn to a man who made her cry more than smile. Friends warned her. Her mind resisted, but her heart obeyed an invisible impulse. Against all logic, she married him. As time passed, she arose from betrayal, silence, cold. She wondered why love felt like a male instead of calm. One day, she sought out a temple. The old caretaker listened and said, "What you call attraction is recognition, not of the beauty of the soul, but of its nightmare. You recognized the one who gave you back a gift of pain, and the universe gave you wings to face your reward." She asked, "Am I then only to suffer?" He answered, "No. You are to awaken. You are not suffering because of him. You are suffering because of the connection your karma still holds. The moment you learn the lesson, pain becomes freedom." Attraction often serves as the door to the game of karma. Not all who attract you are meant to stay, and not all who stay are meant to bring joy. Some come only to remind you of the pattern that still governs your inner world. Buddhist teachings hold that desire is the root of suffering, and marriage, when born of unconscious desire, amplifies the lesson until one becomes conscious. The echo of promises made and broken. Two souls once loved each other deeply, but one left without explanation. In a different life, they are reunited again. But this time, the one who abandoned becomes the one who abandons. This is the silent justice of karma, not as punishment, but as restoration. In a meditation hall, a woman wept. Her husband left her for another, and her heart carried the pieces of that betrayal. The teacher asked her, "Do you remember a time when you left someone when they needed you the most?" She hesitated. Then she cried, the teacher said. Her soul remembered. That is why her love ran so deep. Because it was not just love, it was guilt seeking redemption. Many homes are not new, they are continuations. Buddhist wisdom teaches samsara, the cycle of birth and rebirth, not only of bodies, but of emotions, desires, and deaths. If a promise made in one life is broken, it seeks fulfillment in another. A husband is often a sacred act of karma to bring balance to broken promises. When love is real, but time is not. Some people meet who are perfect for each other, in essence, but not in evolution. They may share beautiful moments, but the husband between them becomes a battleground. The world sees you as a perfect match. But inside, it feels like trying to hold water with your fingers spread, in a silent seclusion. A man asked a Zen master, "We love each other, but we fight every day. Should I go?" The master replied, "Your souls met too soon. She is still becoming the person who will understand you. And you are still killing the person who cannot accept you. You met in love, but not in preparation." Karma not only decides who enters your life, it also decides when. Many painful marriages begin with love, but fail to align. Timing in karma is everything. Two souls can be perfect, but if one is still evolving while the other is ready, the harmony breaks down. From a Zen point of view, it is not enough to find the right person. Both must be equally empty of ego and full of presence. The true purpose of a spiritual partner. In the deepest sense, marriage is not about companionship. It's about reflection. A spiritual partner is not someone who fights with you, but someone who helps you see your shadows. True partners don't just alleviate your illnesses, they reveal them. One day, a monk shared this parable: a pipe married the wind. The wind asked, "Will you love me even when I blow you up?" The pipe said, "Yes. Only in the darkness will I know the strength of my own calling." The monk then told the students, "This is the essence of marriage karma. You don't marry someone to complete yourself. You marry them so that you can know your own completeness. Through joy, yes, but often through friction." From the Buddhist perspective, everything is impermanent, including relationships. But what is gained through relationship can be eternal if it awakens wisdom. The highest goal of marriage is liberation, not from each other, but from illusion. The true partner in karma is not the one who makes you comfortable, but the one who makes you conscious. End the karmic struggle with grace. Some homes are not meant to last. That does not mean they have failed. It means that karma has run its course. Staying beyond that point does not lead to growth, but to stagnation. A divorced woman came to a Zen garden and said, "I stayed in my marriage even when I died inside." Was that noble? The old teacher said it was a fit wearing a mask of loyalty. She wept. The teacher placed a lotus in her hand and said, "Lotus blooms not in clear water, but in wood." Your marriage was the wood. Your healing is the forest. Buddhism teaches that letting go is not failure, it is freedom. When the karma of a marriage is complete, staying attached only creates suffering. An intelligent soul acknowledges the end, not with poverty, but with gratitude. The experience, however painful, has served its purpose. The soul chooses long before the mind chooses. In meditation, we can sometimes observe previous lives, not as fantasy, but as fragments of memory. Many who experience this find themselves inexplicably drawn to certain people, only to discover that those individuals have played a role in their soul's journey before. A young woman asked during a Dharma talk, "Why do I feel as if I have known my husband forever?" The teacher replied, "Because your soul made it. The choice was made before this birth. What you feel is not nostalgia. It is remembrance." Marriage, in its deepest truth, is not arranged by logic or attraction. It is arranged by karma. What seems like coincidence is often continuity. You married who you married because your soul recognized a job to complete. A marriage to honor, a lesson to master, or a mirror to face. Freedom beyond form. Marriage is not the end. It is a door. Some walk hand in hand toward the light. Others leave one way once the lessons are done. But any path, when walked with awareness, leads to freedom. The monk said in his last sermon, "The goal of marriage is not to make the other person stay. It is to become the kind of person who no longer cries out." Marriage is not sacred because of its form. It is sacred because of its opportunity for awakening. Zen and Buddhist thought do not idolize marriage as an end goal. It is seen as one of many vehicles to enlightenment. What matters is not whether it lasts, but whether it awakens. The karma of marriage is not a bond. It is a path. Walked consciously, it leads to freedom. Walked unconsciously, it leads to repetition. The two faces of love, above and awakening. Many enter marriage expecting only joy, heartache, and shared dreams. When pain comes, they assume something is wrong. But what if pain is not a mistake, but a fire to shatter the illusions we carry about love? Two people can say, "I love you," but mean completely different things. One can mean, "You make me feel good about myself." The other may mean, "I choose to grow with you, even if you don't." A Zen master said, "Marriage says, I love you because I need you. Awakening says, I need you because I love you enough to grow through you." Marriage seeks pleasure and avoids discomfort. It turns away from the version of the partner that brings comfort and resists the version that reflects shadows. True love, in contrast, embraces all faces, joy and pain, light and dark, knowing that through it, the soul expands. In the karma of marriage, marriage often masquerades as love until suffering reveals the truth. When you marry the diseases, not the words. Words may lie, smiles may hide, but the diseases never stay hidden. In every marriage, you are not just marrying a person, you are marrying the pain, the past, the inner child, and all the unknown stories they never healed. A man once said to a nun, "She said she loved me, but she always pulled me away." The nun replied, "Then you must understand, she loved you, but your illness scared away love. You did not marry yourself. You married the pain you lived in your silence." In Buddhist psychology, unhealed pain turns into karmic echoes. Though one becomes conscious, these echoes dictate behavior. Many marriages fail not because of lack of love, but because of unresolved inner illnesses. The teaching here is simple, yet profound. When you marry someone, remember that you have not united with their surface. You are walking into the same house as their pain. And unless both of you are ready to face those sneezes, the house collapses. The mirror of your own inner self. Marriage does not bring a stranger into your life. It brings a mirror. Everything that is unhealed within you, every insecurity, every unconsoled belief in your worthiness, will be reflected through the partner you marry. You think they are hurting you, but in reality, they are exposing you to yourself. A woman once said, "He always criticizes me. He never thinks I am enough." A monk replied, "So ask yourself, have you ever believed you were not enough before he said a word?" She screamed, he screamed, so he is not the cause. He is the mirror. Zen teaching says, when the mind is quiet, the world reflects itself clearly. But when the mind carries self-doubt, even love will feel like judgment. In karmic relationships, the partner often serves as a reflection of yourself. The more healed you become, the more peaceful the reflection. The less conscious you are, the more distorted it seems. You don't stare at the mirror screaming at it. You purify your own mind. The finger of gratitude, or the weight of the nightmare. A karmic marriage doesn't always come from illness. Sometimes it comes from deep gratitude. Perhaps the one you once married gave you life, shelter, or a deep friendship. In another life, you return now not from a romance, but from a soul death. A teacher shared this reflection. If one has married a person who is unloved but cannot leave, look deeply. Perhaps it is not love that binds you together. Perhaps it is an invisible gratitude that the soul cannot ignore. Gratitude in the karmic field is powerful. A good finger planted in a past life can grow into a friendship in this one. While some feel trapped in marriages like this, the crazy viewpoint is to recognize the gift being rewarded. Completion, then, comes not from guilt or endurance, but from conscious appreciation. Once the dead is honored with love, the soul is free to move forward. When union awakens Dharma, not all karmic houses are hindered. Some exist to awaken a higher purpose. When two conscious souls unite, their marriage becomes a path, not of emotional drama, but of spiritual expansion. A master once told students, when two souls unite not to unite, but to serve the world together, the karma is reverence. Such a union is not based on what the other gives, but on what they have built together for others. These are rare, but profoundly transformative. In Buddhist practice, Dharma is the truth, the path, the mission. Some homes are Dhamma homes. They are not based on personal play, but on shared intention. These homes may not even have dramatic emotional stories. Instead, their goodness feels like a calm, steady, proportionate, pure fire. These relationships don't just end in cycles, they elevate humanity, repeating the same karma in new faces. When lessons are lost, karma repeats. The partner's face may change, the name may change, but the suffering will remain the same, until consciousness breaks the pattern. A woman cried to a Zen nun, "Why do I always attract men who ignore me?" The nun replied, "Because her soul has not yet learned to stop chasing silence and start embracing its own voice." Buddhist teachings teach that external experiences are shaped by internal realities. If one continues to encounter partners who neglect, forgive, or forbear, it is not fate, it is repetition. The soul seeks to resolve the pattern, not escape it. The key is not to find a new person, but to become a new presence within. Marriage stops being painful when one stops being unconscious. End the cycle with compassion. Some people end karmic cycles by not staying, but by walking away with love. When you forgive someone who cannot love you properly, you are not doing it for them, you are freeing yourself from lives of emotional imprisonment. A monk once said, "The most powerful act of love is not holding on, it is letting go with peace." This kind of ending transforms karma. It tells the universe, the lesson is learned. The suffering need not repeat itself. Karma does not end through revenge, not through suffering, but through understanding. When one forgives, the soul breaks the karmic cycle. This allows future relationships to be born with clarity, not confusion. Forgiveness is the final lesson in the karma of marriage. It is the door to liberation. Who you marry reflects who you are inside. Marriage is one of the most profound spiritual mirrors life offers. It reveals how much love, pain, growth, and illusion one carries. Who you marry is not random. It is a manifestation of your karma, a reflection of your inner state, and an opportunity for your awakening. Some marriages last a lifetime. Others last a lesson. But all marriages, whether karmic or conscious, hold a message. When two souls meet, they are not starting something new. They are remembering what was incomplete. Karma guides the soul, not the mind. You married who you do because of past energy, love, grief, illness, or gratitude. Marriage reflects your inner state. Partners serve as mirrors, not just companions. Lesson comes before peace. Growth is often preceded by friction. Letting go can be sacred. Some unions end not because they failed, but because they were completed. You can change your karma. By becoming conscious, loving, free, you stop attracting pain and start drawing peace. Marriage is not the goal. Awakening is. Whether the bond remains or breaks is just a vessel. The real journey is always toward. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.